Hi, I'm April Plank, and thank you for joining me for today's reformer class. In this class, you're going to need 1 pound or 1 pair of balls, and I've got 3-pound balls. Whatever works for you is fine. Or if you don't have balls, you can use weights. And then I've got my box. I'm going to start off with the weight on 1 rad spring. I'm going to actually start with my box to the side. So you're going to take your box and just bring it to the side of your reformer so that it's even with the carriage, and then pick up your balls. You're going to come to stand on the side of the box, facing the box, so you're parallel with the reformer. So my inside leg, which for me is my right leg, so the leg closest to the reformer should be your right leg from where you are right now. So you're going to stand nice and tall, shoulders down your back, chest lifted. We're going to start with just stepping the right foot up onto the box, tapping your left, coming back, and stepping down. So we're just starting with some step ups to get the heart rate pumping, to get the body moving. Good, so you're always going to be stepping up with that inside leg, which should be your right leg. So you're stepping up and tap and down and tap. It's totally fine to stay right here just holding the weights. If you want to come with me, I'm going to add some arms. So I'm going to do a big circle up and touch, back and down, up, touch, back and down. So my heart rate's starting to get up just a little bit. I want to get that blood moving and get my muscles warm and ready for today's workout. Good, so I'm going up and touch and back and down. I want you to go 4 more. And 3. And 2. And here's your last one. Good, now I'm going to step up with the right again and just come to stand on the box. Now take your left foot behind the box, little bend in the right leg, hinge yourself forward just slightly, let the weights kind of be your counterbalance, and this left leg's going to tap the box and then lift straight up. So I'm doing a little tap and then a little lift, and a tap and a lift. And I'm just going to hold my arms still for this one. So really spread those toes on the right leg, the right foot. Find a balance through that leg. And we'll go 4. Really squeeze your glute, keep the back nice and long. 2. And 1. Good, put the left foot back onto the box. Now I want you to put the left foot in the front of the box as close to the reformer as you can. And now your right foot is going to go on to the shoulder block. I'm going to bend my left leg, hinge slightly from my hips, so I'm pitching forward with my hips, and I'm going to go back and forward with that leg. So notice that I'm forward, but I'm not rounding. So my shoulders are going to stay back, my chest is going to stay lifted. Feel free to stay right here, or we're going to add those arms. You're going to open them out to a T and back. So just doing this nice little chest fly, building up some heat in the upper back. So you're getting that full extension and press through your right leg, going all the way out and all the way in. And we'll go 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good, now take the right leg back and hold it. Lift up a little bit more through the chest and then bend your left leg to take the carriage back. Straighten your left leg to bring it home. So you're bending the left leg and straightening the left leg. Good, so I'm going to spot right in front of me, get my shoulders down and back, keeping that right leg super duper strong and just bending and straightening through the left. For more challenge, when you go back, you can reach the arms over the head. When you come up, the arms go back to your sides. Three more, and 2, and then I want you to hold the next one back there. So I want you to hold it back there. You're going to bend your arms into a goalpost position and then push the arms straight up. So my legs are just holding. Doesn't mean they're not doing anything, they're just isometric, so no movement. Right leg's nice and strong and straight, left leg's nice and bent. Let's go 4 and 3 and 2, and 1. Good. Come all the way in and bring the carriage home. Now take a quarter turn to face your carriage now. Your right foot's going to be up against the shoulder blocks. I want you to glue your elbows right into your waist and hold those balls with the palms up. I'm going to push the right leg out and reach the arms out to a T and then pull everything back in. So you're pushing out and back in. Now, at any point this becomes too challenging, you can always drop the weights and just work on the leg. That's totally fine. Again, I'm still on this one red spring, and if you feel that's too much, you can always lower that as well. Good. Let's do 4 more times. Nice job, you guys. This will be your last one. Alrighty. Okay, we're going to stay with one ball now. So set one ball to the side. You're just going to come forward onto your knees. And you want to be in a position kind of in the middle of your carriage. Your feet are hanging off the edge and you're not kind of touching the wood with your shins. I'm going to lower it down to a yellow spring. So that's my very lightest spring. I took my red off. I'm left with one yellow. Put the ball in your left arm, which should be the foot bar arm. And then grab the front strap with your right arm. I'm going to bring my arms into a goalpost position. So ball in the left hand, strap in the right. Exhale as you pull the arms to touch, and then bring them back down. Good. So as I'm doing this, I'm really trying hard to keep my ribs drawing down, my belly button pulling into my spine, my tailbone dropping, and I'm trying the best I can not to let my shoulders creep up to my ears. So I'm trying to stay down with the shoulders as I go up with the arms. Good, let's do that 2 more times. And this will be your last time. Good, now take the left arm down to the side. The ball is gonna pull me towards the left as I do an overhead press with the right. So let the ball kind of pull you over to the side and then come back. So doing this little lateral flexion with the spine to the left and then back straight. Okay, we've got 2 more on this side. Again, you can always drop the ball if it's getting too heavy, and this will be your last one. Good, let's switch the ball and strap. So put the strap in your left hand, the ball in your right hand. You're gonna draw the sword with your left and bring it back down. Now we're still on that yellow, so for me, the draw the sword is a little bit easy, so I wanna make it harder by making a longer lever. So instead of a bent arm, draw the sword, I'm gonna do a straight arm, draw the sword out and back. But you stay with what feels good for you. And we're going to start layering on. So you can keep that left arm nice and long and nice and straight. The other option is you are going to start to add this right arm into the equation. So when you do your draw the sword, you're going to punch that right arm out to the side and then bring it back in. Similar to what we did when we were standing on the box, the elbows to the waist, and then it pushes out long towards the opposite side of the reformer. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. And then the last option is the right arm's going to stay long, and I want you to do 4 more with that left arm just holding in space. So that's the hardest variation we have. So if you want to omit that, you certainly can. Last 2. And this will be your last one. All right, nice job. Okay, give that left arm a break, put the strap away, just set your ball to the surface of the reformer by the other ball, and you're just gonna lean or take yourself back onto that box. So I've got my knees on the box as far over to the left as I can, and I'm gonna put my elbows onto the carriage as close to the springs as I can. I'm going into a side plank, so I'm gonna push the carriage out, drop my hips towards the right, and then pull the carriage back in with my abdominals. So here's an option if you want to take it. I can take all of my spring weight off, so now I have nothing, and that's going to make it a little bit more challenging. So when I'm coming in, I've got no weight helping me. So I'm going all the way out, and my left knee's lifting when I go out, so I'm really dropping into that full side plank. And then when I come in, I'm letting that left knee come back down to the box. All right, not too many more because I want to show you some more variations if you want to make it harder. So let's go ahead and put the yellow back on. So you have one yellow spring. And let's move the box out of the equation. So instead of kneeling, now we're going to be standing. So I want you to stand kind of right in line with your reformer. Your elbows are going to be, again, close to the springs. I'm kind of in this little pyramid pose with my hips lifted. I'm going to take my right leg, cross it over my left, and now I'm going to push out into that side plank from a standing position. So this is going to be a little bit more challenging than the kneeling position. And I'm going to keep my spring on, but you certainly can take your spring off. It's just we're going to do one more variation that's pretty challenging, and I don't really do that variation with no springs. So I'm just going to keep springs on this whole time. So again, I'm on that yellow spring. I'm going out and in. And then the next time out, I want you to hold it. So you're going to take it out and hold it. Now lift your left elbow if you can. Come into a full side plank and lift the left arm to the ceiling. Now, if this is too much, you're just going to repeat the planks that we did before with your elbow down. If you want to go on to our final variation, the left arm is going to thread the needle when you come in, and then you're going to reach it back out to the plank when you go out. So this is pretty challenging. So if you aren't ready for this yet, then take that left elbow down and repeat the planks we just did. We've got 3 more to go. I'm doing around 8. Can't say my counting's the best, but I'm doing my hardest to cue and count and do it for you. So hopefully I'm close to 8. Just make sure you're doing even on each side if you can. And let's come all the way in and rest that carriage. All right, we did one side, so let's get ready for the second side. So I want you to put one red spring on. I like the center if I'm just doing one. And then take the yellow on, and then you're going to take your box with you. And we're going to put the box, again, on the side. And now you can probably get a better view of what's happening with that box. So the box is going to be lined up with the carriage. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my weights and stand at the side, the small side of the box. All right, so I'm here on the box. My inside foot is now the left foot. So my left foot is going to come up to the box, shoulders down, chest lift, and just start tapping the right toe up, bring it back and down. Now I didn't show more advanced options on the other side, but here are a few if you'd like them. Instead of tapping the right toe, you can bring it all the way up to a tabletop so that you're not even holding that leg down or touching the box with it. And then that would be a little bit more challenge on the balance. So you can do that variation if you'd like on this side. Now this time with the arms, we're going to take the arms to a bicep curl, overhead press, back and down. Again, arms are optional. And if you start to lose your balance like I am, you might want to take that toe back down and use the balance or the support of the box to help you balance. You guys are doing really good. We've got 4 more. Hopefully you're feeling those legs warm up. Good, last 2. And 1 more full one. Good, and then you're going to come all the way up and stand. So put a little bend in your left leg, take your right leg behind your box, pitch your hips back and hinge your spine forward. Shoulders are still lifted, really broad through my sternum still. So I'm going to take that right leg, tap the box, squeeze the glute and lift. What I don't want to see here is an arching in the back. So keep your back nice and long and just have that movement coming from your glute squeeze. And if you want to add the arms, you can. Or you can just hold the arms down for balance. Again, your left leg has just a tiny little bend in it. Let's go 4 more times here. And 1 more. Nice work. Take your right foot, step it to the very front of the box so you can hopefully see that better now. And then it's going to be as close to the reformer as you can. Your left foot's going to go up against the shoulder block. I'm going to again pitch my hips back, find that nice long line from the tailbone to the crown of the head, and then start pushing that left leg back and forward. So my focus on the left leg going all the way straight and back. Shoulders down, chest lifted. And then again with the arms, we're going to do an overhead press. So you're kind of starting at that goalpost position and pressing up and back. Nice job, you guys. Find that balance, find that point that you can stare at to help you stay still. This is your last one, and I want you to hold it back there, and then you're going to bend your right leg to bring the carriage in. So again, we're just bending and pressing that right leg, so it should be the leg on your box, back and forward. So again, we have the option of the arms staying down, or if you'd like more challenge, you can bring those arms back to the goalpost position. When you go back, the arms come up. When you come up, the arms come down. Four more moving, and then we're going to hold the legs isometric. Here's your last two. Now hold it back, and let's just do the arms. For 8, 7, really squeezing that left leg nice and straight. Last 4, 3, big bend in that right leg, and 1. Good job, you guys. Come all the way up. All right, now you can see what's happening from the back. So you're going to turn quarter turn to your reformer. My left foot's up against the shoulder block, elbows glued into the waist. I'm going to push the carriage out with the left as I send my arms long, and then pull it back in. And again, the breath is up to you. The breath is always a tool, not a rule. So for me, I find myself wanting to exhale when I push the carriage, especially when I'm working the arms. Just a lot more challenge, so I want to exhale on that exertion part. So totally up to you if that feels good for you. Or if you want to do the more traditional inhaling out, exhaling in, you can do that as well. We've got 2 more of this. And last one here. Awesome job. Okay, take one weight, set it down to the side. You're going to help yourself down onto the carriage. And so you can see from here on this angle, I've got my knees kind of in the middle of the carriage, and then I'm going to have my feet just hanging off the edge. Go and put on a yellow spring and take your red spring off, so you only have a yellow. I'd like the weight in the right hand, the front strap in the left hand, arms into that goalpost position. Take a nice inhale to prepare, and then on your exhale, the arms are going to go up to touch and meet, and then back down. So again, a few options. If this is too challenging, just lose the ball. And if it's still too challenging, you can always have a seat. So kneeling is going to be a little bit harder because we're higher up, more weight to pull. So if you're having a hard time with this one, just have a seat on the reformer, crisscross, and do the same exercise. This will be our last one. Good. Now we're going to add a little lateral flexion. So the right arm's going to come down. The left arm's kind of right by the ear, and we're going to lean to the right as we push the left arm up. So you get that little flexion of the spine to the side, that lateral flexion, and then stacking back up. So flexing to the spine, to the side, and back up. Last 2 and 1. All right, let's switch the strap and the ball in different hands. So you've got the ball now in your left hand, your strap in your right hand. You're going to start by drawing the sword up. Now remember, we're still on that yellow spring, so if this does not feel challenging enough, then I want you to do a straight arm lever. So long lever out, straight arm press, straight arm back across the body. Option for the left arm is the elbow is going to glue right into your side, and when you do an arm press with the right, your left arm follows suit. So you're going to have both arms pushing out, both arms coming back in. Our final option is keeping that left arm long the whole time. Notice I have a tiny little bend in the elbow just so I'm not locking out that joint. Let's go 2 more times here. And this will be your last time. Awesome job, you guys. Let's put that strap down. All right, just a few more in this series. So you're going to slide yourself back onto that box. So now you can see I'm going to slide myself to the very far right of the box. I'm going to put my elbows onto the carriage. When I push out, I'm leaning all the way to the left, and my right knee actually pops off the box. And then I'm going to pull it all the way back in, leaning out to that side plank and bringing it all the way back in. If you took that option on the other side of taking your spring all the way off, you could try that. So no springs, and then you're just going to push out. See, it goes a lot quicker. So you've got to really control it. If you don't want to go out too quick, you won't get back in. Last 2. And then you can certainly stay here if this feels good for you, but we're going to take it to on the feet on the floor like we did on the other side. So hook up your yellow spring if you didn't have any on. Let's just get that box out of the way. So we'll move the box. We're going to use that, in just a second. So set it off to the side, and let's come down. So you can see from this angle that I've got my hips lifted high. My left leg's going to cross over my right. I'm going to snake all the way out to the side, dropping my left hip down and then pulling it. Now I hit the bottom of the bumper, so I'm going to actually scoot a little more in towards the midline. So based on your height, that will kind of determine where you are putting your elbows. So if you ever bottom out on either side of the carry, you just have to move a little bit to give yourself more room. Okay, and you can certainly take the spring off if you like, but for that very last option, I like to do it with a spring. So I'm just going to keep my spring on the whole time. All right, you guys, we're almost there. Take it out and hold it. So you're either holding here, or the other option is the right arm now lifts and reaches up to the ceiling, full side plank. Now this right arm is going to thread through the needle, and then you're going to bring it back up. Notice I'm not talking. This is really hard. Last 4 and 3. You guys got it. Last 2. 1 more to go. Good. Come all the way in. All right, let's take it to a blue spring. Take your yellow off. So the box is going to go onto the foot bar, and I've got the infinity foot bar, so it's a little different than your regular foot bar. So when you put your foot bar up and you can put the box on diagonal, you wouldn't have to change your foot bar. But for me, in order to put the box on this side, I've got to take my foot bar all the way over to the side. And then I can take my box, move the carriage out a bit, put the box securely up against those silver railings, so it's not going to move because it's got these silver railings here, and I'm going to let my box just rest. So if you have the infinity foot bar, you'll want to do that. If you have a different type of foot bar, you'll probably do a different thing where the box will be angled. Now because of what's coming next, I need to take my infinity foot bar and put it all the way down to the floor, so it's completely out of the way. If you have another foot bar, you won't need to do that. Now grab onto your weights. We're going to pop around this side of the reformer. Put our feet up against the shoulder blocks. I have kind of my bra line at the box, and then what I'm going to do is lift my hips at the same time I let my head come down, and now I'm in this nice bridge position. So my feet are going to come to the very tippy top of the shoulder blocks. Now remember, we are on a blue spring, so the hamstrings are already on fire. just trying to hold this carriage still. Take your arms up to the ceiling, slight bend at the elbow. We're gonna start opening the arms into that chest fly. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Now your goal here is gonna be to keep those hips up no matter what. They're gonna wanna drop, and you're gonna try to keep them lifted. So I want you to add the legs when you are ready. So when you open the arms, open the carriage. And when you close the arms, close the carriage. Now your hips are gonna probably drop when you open the carriage, that's fine, but really drive them up when you close the carriage. Now I'm gonna give you some pretty advanced options, but this is where you can, kind of your go-to, you can just stay with this if this is what's working for you. Just one more. All right, so we're gonna hold up here. So the option would be to lift the right leg to tabletop and try to keep those hips square. Now, if that's working for you, just hold it. If that's not working for you, stay down. So I'm gonna just hold still and do a tricep bend and stretch. So your options here, guys, are one leg in tabletop or both legs to the shoulder blocks. And then we're gonna make it super duper advanced. And when you bend the arms, you're gonna push the carriage. And when you straighten, you're gonna bring the carriage in. And I'm not gonna be able to move as far. And I'm really feeling those hamstrings. So don't do anything that doesn't feel good for you. If you need to take a rest, take it. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Good, now the right leg's gonna go down. I'm gonna lift my hips back up. Get my left leg up if you want, that's the option. And then I'm just gonna hold isometric as I bend and straighten, doing another set of those triceps. Really focusing on my hips staying nice and square if I can. And then again, you can add your press and back in. You guys are doing great. 4 more. And 3 and 2 and 1. I know my hips probably started dropping there. All right, set both feet down onto the actual surface of the reformer, of the carriage. Put your balls on your hip bones. Slide yourself maybe a little bit farther back so you've got some range of motion here, because we're gonna drop the hips straight down and then squeeze your booty and lift the hips up. So we're just doing a little drop of the hips and a lift. So during that drop, you're going into the slight little extension. So you feel that extension through the back, that opening through the chest, and then squeeze your bottom and lift. And if the weights don't work here, just set them to the side. It's just giving you a little bit more weight that you're lifting and lowering with your hips. It does not have to be there. Last 2. Then we get to do my very, very favorite, which is more of a stretch, which is why it's my favorite. We're gonna hold to the top. Now take the arms to the ceiling, turn your palms to your knees. You're gonna do that same lowering of the hips, but this time your arms are gonna go over your head. Now if this is too much on your shoulders, just take the weight away. But that weight is what's giving me a big stretch so that I'm getting this openness through my chest. And then I'm gonna start to lift my arms as I peel my spine back up and come back to the bridge. So it's just this nice open release, letting my arms go over my head, letting my tailbone sink down, and then pulling everything back up. You guys, this is the last one, so enjoy this last little stretch. Opening, opening, opening. And then bring it all the way back up. Now to come out of this, I like to bring my arms down first, drop my hips, and then just let my head come up, and then bring the carriage in. All right, you still need your balls, and we will do just a little bit more with the balls, and then we'll say goodbye to those for the day. So this is gonna be a lot of back work, and let's get you in the right position first. So what you're gonna do is take your body over the box to where your bra line is on this front edge of the box. And then based on your height, your feet might be up against the shoulder blocks. I'm pretty tall, so my feet are actually pushing the carriage out. They don't have to be against the shoulder blocks if you're a little shorter. That's totally fine. The other thing is you don't have to use the weights. This is going to be pretty challenging. So I'm going to use my back extensors and just hold myself like Superman. I'm in a straight line from the crown of the head to my heels. And I'm pushing my pubic bone deep into the mat to give myself that little lift. Now hold that lift, grab onto your balls and take them in front of you. And we're going to do some flies, opening the arms and closing the arms. Now, if you're starting to feel in the back, then I would probably bend my knees a little bit and even scoot back a little bit on the box. So the more of your body off the box, like right now I'm at my bra line, but if I scooted farther forward, so more of my body was off, it would be a lot more challenging. So don't feel like you need to be too far forward. Just scoot back if you're feeling it in your spine. 2 more. Last one. Now take your palms, turn them towards your reformer, do a bent arm like a scarecrow position, and then bring it back. So you're bending the arms wide and back. Now I'm trying to keep my shoulders wide on my back, so I'm not necessarily crunching my shoulder blades together and squeezing them. I'm just using gravity to work against. So I'm bringing those elbows up, lifting my chest. Doing that 2 more times. And the next time I'm up, I'm going to hold it there, take the arms straight out to a T, bend them back to the scarecrow. Straight out to a T, and then back. Now certainly you can take a rest between all of these exercises. It does take a little bit of time to build up to doing all of them in a row, so don't feel like you have to do them all. You can lose the balls, you can take a rest between, you can pause, anytime you want. 2 and 1. All right, now let's just set the balls down and rest for a second. So you can bend your knees, round your back, just go a little flexion. The very next set, I would probably recommend no weight, or if you had maybe a 1 pound set of balls or hand weights, you could do that. But I'm gonna do no weight for this one. So I'm gonna get myself back into that extension. I'm pushing my pubic bone deep into the box and pushing back through my legs. My glutes are engaged. Take the arms into a goalpost position. You're going to reach the arms over your head like Superman and then bring them back. Reach and extend and back. Now if you're having trouble with this one, if it's a little bit too much work, try just a single arm, 1 at a time. And then over time you can build up to both arms. Notice I'm looking down, my back of my neck's long, looking kind of to the tip of the nose. 2 more. Last one here. Good. Set the hands down the box, bend your knees to the box, press yourself back, come into your forearms, and then come into this big cat stretch. So I'm going to round my back, which feels so good after that extension. But we're going to do a little bit of an active recovery. So you're going to stay here in this scoop round back. Your elbows are on to the box. We're in this awesome position for forearm planks. So you're going to drop your hips forward, find that nice long neutral pelvis, push the carriage out, lift your gaze slightly, come into that plank, and then scoop your abdominals around your back and really find that big cat stretch. So you're going to be alternating between those two, going out into a nice long full elbow plank on the knees, and then scooping and rounding forward into that cat. All right, you guys, 2 more to go, and then we'll kick it up a notch. Make it a little bit more dynamic and challenging. So this will be your last one. Good. Come into that big cat stretch first, and then I want you to unravel, come into that neutral spine, so push your tailbone back. We're going to lift those knees and just hover them like an inch in that horrible position where the knees are just like a piece of paper could slide between the knees and the carriage. And you're just going to hold it for 3, 2, and now push the legs straight. 10, bend it back to that hover. Push the legs, 9, back to that hover. Try not to rush it. I know it's easy to want to go super duper fast. Try to resist. Three more to go. One more. Come in, set the knees down. Turn your toes underneath, push yourself back, and find a nice resting child's pose. We're going to do one more set of those planks, and then we'll move on. Okay, so here we go. So you're going to put the feet back up against the shoulder blocks, come into that neutral pelvis. So you're pushing your tailbone back, crown of the head forward, ribs drawing in, belly button drawing in. All right, that's enough rest. Let's lift the knees up, find that little hover for 3, 2, 1. Push the legs straight. Hold your legs straight. Pike them up, touch the box to the carriage, push it back down. Come in and back down. Good, so really working on abdominals, your shoulders. Pretty much everything's working here. A lot of hamstring flexibility. 3 more. Last 2, you guys. 1 more to go. You made it. Set those knees down, turn the toes underneath, push your hips back to your heels, let your head rest down, and just take a big recovery breath in and out, or 2 or 3. Or pause me and just stay here for like 10 minutes. All right, we are almost done with this workout, so let's come up. We've got one more little series left, and then we'll lay down, put our feet in the straps, and call it a day. So I'm going to have you move the box. So it's going to come to long box position. And anytime you want to grab water, I usually don't grab water during my workout, but I do drink a lot before and after. But feel free, if you like to have water during your workout, to pause me at any point. Okay, I'm still at a blue. I'm just checking that out. And I'm going to be at a blue spring. I'm going to come onto my hands and my knees in a forearm position. So again, your spine is long from the head to the tailbone. Reach forward and grab that right strap with your right hand, and then your right arm is going to start pulling the strap straight back and forward. So it's not as easy to see on this side, but you're taking that right arm straight up to the hip and then back down level with your left arm. Now I'm just going to go ahead and blend in a more advanced option if you'd like it. So you're going to root down through that right knee and shin, and root down through your left arm and just start to lift your left leg. And if you've got that left leg lifted, make sure your hips are square so you're not letting your hip rotate open to the side. So we're doing about 8 to 10 of these. And the next time we're back, I'm going to you to hold it and do your triceps. So now your elbows staying lifted. Keep the shoulders down your back. Think of your sternum reaching forward. Back of the neck still long, so I'm just looking right out in front of me. Try to keep that leg lifted. 2 more. And last 1. Good job. Now set the knee down if it's lifted. Move that left leg all the way to the right, and then we're going to put this strap onto your right foot. So I'm going to just take that strap, put it on my right foot, put my hands back to the corners of the box. So my right leg has the strap in it, and then that leg's going to be straight down to the floor. Now make sure it doesn't drop your hip off to the side. Keep that hip up level with the left, and then push the leg straight back and forward. So definitely firing through your right glutes here. But what is amazing to me is how much work happens in the abdominals in this kneeling leg pulling strap series. So your abdominals, especially the obliques, are really trying to fire to hold yourself still, because what the strap's wanting to do is rotate your spine, and your abs are stabilizing so you don't. So shoulders level, hips level. this will be your last one, and then I want you to hold it back there. Now you're holding it up to hip level, flex your foot like you're standing on the wall, and then I want you to bend your knee and push your leg back. Almost like you're trying to make a footprint on the back wall. Two more. And last one. Good. Take the leg down. Now I want you to do a straight leg push back with a big circle out to the side. Probably not big, probably little. So you're going out, circling to the side and back. Now you're really going to want to feel the body twisting to the side. So try to keep your abdominals active so you don't do that. You guys have 3 more. Awesome job. All right, you're going to put the foot onto the carriage right by the box. So see this little space on this side? My foot is on the other side of the carriage, just standing right in this space. I'm going to pick up that strap, pick up my other strap, come up to this proposal position. So my left shin is grounded down to the box. My sternum's lifted, shoulders down the back. Palms into the straps, start with a press of the arms. Exhale, press the arms back. And inhale forward. Trying to move from where the armpits are. So you're kind of thinking of the base of the tip of the shoulder blades, drawing the carriage back. So you're not overworking through your traps or your upper back. Two more to go here. Good. Now take the arms, palms face each other. We're going to open out to a kind of a low T or more of a V position. Exhale as you open. Inhale, close. Good. 3 more to go here. And this will be your last one. Good. All right, we're going to put that strap away, and then your left strap is going to be in the left hand. So you've got your strap to the side, so you can see the strap a little better on this side. My hips are square, my shoulders are square. I'll start by pulling that left arm back and forward. And then if you would like a little bit more challenge for the abdominals, take your right leg back. So that right leg is nice and long. Trying to keep it even with the hip square and that leg parallel to the floor. 1 more to go, you guys. And then let's take it into the tricep. So now bend the arm, keeping that elbow high and straighten. Four more. And this will be your last one. All right, great job, almost there. Let's set the right knee down. Now there's a lot of ways of getting into this. I just showed it kneeling. Some of my clients like to sit down on the box to put the foot in the strap. So I like to just stay kneeling, pull the strap with the opposite hand, put it onto the foot, and then put my hands back. If that doesn't work for you, have a seat, put the strap on, take the right foot out to the side of the box, your left foot's down. You can make sure your hip's not dropping. Stick it back up there, and you'll push the leg back and forward. Just a nice big pendulum sweep with that leg. Again, really root down not only through the right knee, but the shin. So you find that stability through that right leg. Now the next time you're back there, I'd like for you to hold it for a moment, flex your foot, and then bend your knee, make a footprint on the back wall. Bend it in, footprint on the back wall. 2 more. And last one. Flex or point the foot again, bring it down. Now we'll do those circles. So you go back, open, out to the side, and around. Again, only as big as you can keep stability through the spine. You don't want to be arching kind of to this left or flexing laterally to the side. You guys have 2 more to go. Big, strong breath out and in. This will be your last one. Good. Set that foot. Now you can see where it goes. It's going to be right beside the box. I'm going to make sure my right leg is in the center of the box. Grab onto both straps. Come up to that high kneeling proposal position, arms reaching long, shoulders slide down. Exhale, pull the arms. Inhale, release. Try to find that little pause. So you push back, find that little spot where the carriage stops. It's very easy to start moving quickly, especially when you get tired trying to get through the exercise. But I want you to find that little pause where the carriage stops. You're holding isometric for just a moment, kind of resetting and not letting momentum take over. And then we'll take the palms facing each other and open into the low V. I did read a quote that I liked one time of, instead of thinking about doing one set of 8 repetitions, think of doing 8 sets of 1. And what that means is each one is as good as you can get. So it's like you were just going to do 1. So you do 1, do it as good as you can, and then you do it again. 1 as good as you can. So it's really about the quality of the motion and not the quantity. 2 more. The best reps you can do. And then release. All right, you guys. We've made it. Set the straps down. Come off your box. You can move your box to the side. We are done with it. Box is out of the way. And then depending on which foot bar you had, we will have to put the foot bar up. So I'm going to put my foot bar to mid bar. And then I'm going to actually move my bar all the way back in, just so I have it. Let's go into a red-blue. So I've got my center red and a blue on. And then we're going to finally lay down for today. I know my clients love when we finally get to lay down, which doesn't happen a lot. All right, so we're going to lay down, push all the way out. You've got your straps in your hands. We're going to put the right foot into the strap, and then put the left foot into the strap, and then let the arms rest to your sides. Push those legs out, and let's start in a little V. So heels together, toes apart, tailbones are really grounded and heavy, arms reaching long. Bend the knees into a frog on the inhale, and then exhale, squeeze the legs together and press. Again, think of that quality of motion. So you're doing 1 rep as good as you can do, and then you're doing that again. As if you only had 1 rep to do. How good could you do that rep? We've got 3 more to go. Or 3 sets of 1 and 2. Good. Next time you're in your frog position, hold it. So we'll go into a swimming or jumping frog. So your legs are going to go out long to the side. You flex your feet, squeeze your legs together down low, and bend back to where you started. So the legs open wide. You squeeze the inseams together, and then bend it back in. Press and reach the legs long. Squeeze the legs together, and pull it back in. I like to exhale as I pull my legs together. Inhale, bend in and out, and exhale, pull together. Last 2 to go. And 1 more to go. And then we're going to reverse it. So this time we're going to be a little bit more stretched. So you're going to go out into your V. Keep your tailbone grounded. Bend into that frog and then push the legs out long. So into that wide V, into your frog. Exhale, push the legs out. Work at a range of motion that feels comfortable for you. Two more to go. Good, bring your big toes back together to touch. Inhale, the legs are going to go up to the ceiling, and then exhale, bring them back down. As you go up, feel that nice deep stretch through the hamstrings. And then as you go down, feel that squeeze of the bottom, squeeze of the glutes, working through the back of the leg to pull the carriage out. Now I like my headrest down when I'm lying down, but certainly you have 3 options. So you can choose to put your headrest in the middle or up high. We're not lifting the hips, so really the only time you'd have to have your headrest up is if you were going to be lifting your hips into a bridge or short spine. But we're not going to do that today, so feel free to lift your head if you'd like. Now the next time the legs are down, we're going to go into some circles. So I want you to go down and then open the legs out and around. And I probably have said in my other videos is I like to work a pretty big circle, especially when I'm doing this at the end of the class, because I'm just letting myself go into a place that feels good for a stretch. I know traditionally you would want to keep your tailbone grounded, only work at a range of motion that feels good for you and stable for the spine. But we're just doing a big stretch today, so whatever feels good for you for the circles, make them as big as you would like to do. Now let's just do that one more time. When you get to the top, we're going to reverse the direction, which is a little more challenging variation. So you go down or out first and then down and around and together. So you're opening the legs first and then squeezing the legs down and together at the bottom. So you've got 2 more to go. And this will be your last one. Go ahead and pull your knees into your chest. Let your knees go wide, bring the soles of the feet together into a little butterfly stretch. So you can push your knees out with your arms. You could even pull your feet in with your hands. Another option is more of a supine or reclined butterfly, so you can bring the soles of the feet together at the carriage and let the legs open that way. And I just want you to take a few deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, and then exhaling and letting it all go. Big deep inhales through the nose, and then just let it all go through the mouth. Do that one more time. And then when you're ready, you can bring your legs back in, bring your knees back together. You can take your feet both out at the straps at the same time if that feels appropriate for you, or you can have one foot at a time. And then you're going to set your straps back onto the pegs. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. And then we're going to actually grab your pegs, put your feet wide on the foot bar, and now do a little windshield wiper with those legs. So you're just going to let your legs go all the way to the right, legs go all the way to the left, just massaging that back a little bit. The next time you're over to the right, you're going to stay there. So you're over to the right, And then your right foot is going to come on top of your left knee, and you're going to give that left leg a little weight with that right foot. That's going to give your IT band and all of these muscles on the outside of the hip a little stretch. If that's too much, you don't need to use the leg, but the leg is just going to give you a little deeper release. And then you'll release the foot and then windshield wiper just a few times, side to side, side to side. And then the next time you're to the left, you'll stay to the left. Take your left foot on top of your right knee and give that right outer thigh all the way through that right side of the body a little release. And then unrelease, come back to the center, just a few more side to side, and then we'll do the hardest thing of the day, and that's rolling up and off the reformer, which sometimes at the end of the class can be pretty challenging. So you're gonna pull your knees into your chest, give those knees a big hug, roll to your right, take your left hand on the shoulder block, bring your feet down, and then just help yourself all the way up. All right, we made it. All right, let's equalize our spine a little bit with a roll down. So I want you to bring your feet really wide, just sit up tall, take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, start to tuck your chin slightly to your chest, start to roll your spine down as if there was a wall behind you and you're just releasing your back away from the wall. Come down until your hands are onto the floor. Let your head, your neck, your shoulders, everything relax. So gravity is doing our work here. So we're giving a little bit of a stretch and release through the back with the help of gravity. And when you're ready, you'll start to stack your spine back up, one vertebrae at a time, rolling your spine up that imaginary wall behind you, putting your hips against the wall, putting your shoulders against the wall, lifting the chest. Take one more big deep inhale, a nice big exhale, and we're done. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you come back and see me at another time.